Hi, this is Uwe, Delta Golf 2 Yankee Charlie Bravo. Yeah, we have our SuperFox mode ready. And in this video, I'd like to show you how it works. Before I do that, perhaps a few more facts. SuperFox mode behaves operationally like the old style Fox and Hound mode, meaning that you will likely be very familiar with it soon. It uses a new constant envelope waveform you will see in a couple of seconds, and this has two big advantages. First is that the SuperFox can transmit simultaneously to up to 9 hounds without a signal strength penalty. This means we have a system gain of about 10 dB roundabout compared to the older Fox and Hound operation with 5 slots, which is quite a lot. And the second advantage is that we have room for digital signatures, meaning that now each message contains an individual digital signature, which is used by the SuperFox decoder to differentiate is that a genuine Fox or not, and the user gets this information, which I think is also quite helpful in times like these. Yeah, and we have put, of course, together a couple of information for you. I have also copied most of it here in my email to you, where you can see the various details. There's also this SuperFox Super Guide, which you can access here when you go to the help menu and then click here on the SuperFox Guide. Then you get this document here prepared by Joe, SuperFox User Guide, where you see how everything works and what needs to be done and how it works. And then there is, for this Jarvis the Expedition, they have prepared also something here on their homepage, which is, I think, quite useful. That's the reason why I put it here in my email. Look, it brings you to this page. They have a question of answers form here, this most important information also about the SuperFox mode and how it works. Yeah, but enough theory, let's show you how it works. Very important is that you must use either the original WSJT-X release candidate 5 or my improved variant of that, which is the 240701 RC5 version of WSJT-X improved to 7.1 development. Well, again, very important. Anyone who likes to receive SuperFox messages has to use either our original WSJT-X release candidate 5 or this improved version of that program. Any other version, older versions of WSJT-X or WSJT-X improved, or also JTDX or that, are not able to receive SuperFox messages. Very important. Okay, here in my setup, as you are familiar with, 2 instances running concurrently, connected via audio loop, so nothing goes over HF. We can simulate here every QSO situation we like. To the left is the original WSJT-X, and to the right my improved version. Well, how to start? You can, just as before, when you go to a DXpedition frequency and read somewhere, oh, there is a DXpedition operating on that frequency, just click here on the H button and you are in the normal Hound mode. New is now that a right click on the FT8 button brings you to Super Hound mode. Well, you can just toggle between normal Hound mode and Super Hound mode just by right clicking the FT8 button. The same is, by the way, true for the Fox. If a Fox operator just want to go back temporarily to the normal Fox mode, he would just need to right click here on the FT8 button and it switches back to the normal Fox mode. The classical way is, of course, here to go to the settings dialog and then to the advanced page and click here on special operating activity. you must then here in this case enable Hound. And new is now here that we have a SuperFox Mode checkbox, which has of course to be checked when you want to receive SuperFox messages. A Fox station who likes to transmit SuperFox messages has to enter a valid key. Without such a valid key, it is impossible to transmit SuperFox messages. This is a part of our measures mentioned before, and I think it is good to have that. So again, a Fox station has to have such a valid key, but a Hound station does not need such a key. Now you can just go to Hound mode and just have to enable the SuperFox mode. Okay, but perhaps start even in normal Hound mode. And yeah, let's call CQ here in this setup. Here, by the way, I'm using DG2YCB, my normal normal call sign, and here in this right instance, this well-known dummy call sign Tango Echo 0 Sierra Tango. Look, and this is how a SuperFox signal looks like. And as I am now in the normal Hound mode, I cannot decode this SuperFox message, but I can see in the waterfall, oh, this is a SuperFox message, and then right-click here on the FT8 button, switch to SuperHound, and yeah, in the next over, I hope that the signal is now being decoded. Yeah, there it is. Look. It looks very familiar. Here the Fox station called CQ, it is displayed as before. New is that we see here this DG2YCB verified. This is because I am of course here using a valid key. So this is a verified message, a genuine Fox. And also you see that the background color of the SuperHound label turned from red to green. Okay, let's try to work this Fox station in SuperFox mode. The hounds just call in normal FT8 mode. Of course, the Fox now has to double click here on that so that the call sign is put into the queue. And then in the in progress queue, which is the same way as done before for the normal old style Fox and Hound operation. And look, and for you as a Hound, it looks like it was before. The only difference is that you see here this DG2YCB verified. No? It answers again. And then the Fox station sends you here, in this case, the Roger 73, which is coming here in this period, and the Fox has put you in the lock. We now, as a Hound, have now the QSO locked, and that's it. So it can be operated in the same way as it was before. No spectacular difference in the way you can operate it. As I showed you intentionally here, even if you start in normal Hound mode and you then see here such signals on the band, then it's time for you to know, oh, there is a SuperFox station. Just right click on that and you are in SuperFox mode. Okay, new is also here for such Fox operators. A few details. For example, such a SuperFox has now the possibility to send out free text messages. For example, something like this, QSY to 14.0.09 megahertz, and when such a Fox station here then clicks on this send message checkbox in the next over, this will be sent out. We have now here up to 26 characters, meaning that you can really transmit a meaningful free text message, which is quite useful also to announce a QSY or whatever for information you like, North America only or Asia only or something like that. But as said, 26 character is much more, as it was possible with the old style FT8 and Fox and Hound mode. Quite useful. And in addition to that, for the Fox operator, they have now here also this allow dupes checkbox, because usually a Fox would only give you one time a chance for a QSO. You have 3 trials to respond to the Fox, and when that's over you get 2 more, but then it's really over. And when the Fox has already you in the logbook, by the way, the Fox station won't see you calling again. It is just to prevent that hundreds of dupes QSO are to be put into the Fox logbook. But in certain cases it might be useful that dupes are allowed, and when this checkbox here is checked after 3 minutes or so, it is then possible again that the Fox station sees you calling again. This is also, I think, quite helpful in certain situations. That's it. So it's quite easy operation like it was before, but with a lot of more under the hood, by the way. And I hope you enjoy that. We all enjoy that. I hope that it will bring all of us 1 or 2 or 3 more of the DXCC countries, and that's why we made that for. All right, I think that's it. Let's try it out during the coming expeditions, and of course I wish you all the best during that. And then we will see if everything works smoothly. If not, let us know. If it works smoothly, also let us know. And all right, this was Delta Golf 2 Yankee Charlie Bravo. All the best.